and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shroud Empire, in our self-imposed challenge, Fear of Walking, where we're trying to play in such a way that none of the professional troops ever have to walk around. They get to ride some sort of vehicle. Even if that vehicle is a walker, that's the one exception that I'm accepting, or allowing to deal with mountains, is the walkers, which are allowed to, go into high mountains. Yes, they're walking, but they've got an engine. They're the exception. They're the only exception for the professional troops. That and the militia. The militia are an exception, because the militia show up with whatever they bring. I don't control what they bring. So over the intern, we did defend ourselves successfully well against the rotting marauders. We have 7 decisions awaiting us. Presumably, one of the things is what to do after deep core mining. And we just finished the heavy MG core OBS, or OOB, so we'll have to replace that. Okay, most of those are things... At some point I should remember to actually put this stuff on the military units, but... Okay, so the Director of the Interior Council I should probably raise the opinion of. We're going to punish him because he's doing something bad, but we probably shouldn't raise opinion on him. We're going to do pretty high on applied science, pretty high on eco and military. I'm going to short the model designer a little bit here. Keep everything up. Interior Council at like 5. Yeah. If anything, I'd lose a little more political power for model design, but for the moment we're not desperate to design any models. Either until we get the fuel standard improvements, so we can have our vehicles be more fuel efficient, or until we have more military ecotech.
Roger that.
Yeah, it's appropriate balance there. I think we're gonna go volcanic energy tapping here.
Copy
We
that.
may, at some point in the future, need more power, and the volcanoes are a very good source for power. Here I'm thinking we can do mechanized MG.
Affirmative.
D100 plus 43 to difficulty 51. That's pretty plausible. That will give us merit. This could backfire, though, and this could technically give us some bound and rest. But we'll roll it. And we have a success. Because we had a success, we did gain unrest. If we had critical success, I think we would have not gained any. Military advisor's request. We don't want autocracy because it's going to suppress merit.
Yes, sir.
I think it's these guys, probably. Bureaucratic 39. Could be got open contact with them, but yeah, it's probably 39 guys. Okay, so let's try to play a plea of friendship on them.
Roger that.
Keep them reasonably neutral for the moment. We're not ready to try blitzkrieging through their deserts. Though the military faction did want us to do that. The military faction, I think, has already asked for us to try to take the city over. We told them no, because we weren't doing that anytime soon. And it's usually better to say no when you can't do something than say yes and fail. Okay, construction points went up a lot. It's good to see. Fuel refinery is done. We're going to roll at least one more turn before we determine whether we have enough food, or if we have too much food, maybe go another level. High Command Palace is done. We're going to roll one more turn, and then if the demand doesn't complete, and it probably isn't going to complete, then we'll go ahead and queue up some more bureaucracy. Some little bureaucracies and some of the expands. Power bank's done. I'll queue the upgrade to the power bank.
Yes, sir.
For more power storage. And let's also queue up the ice mining
sir.
upgrade. Wait, that would probably be a little too much splurge. So again, we'll still leave the guys in the west here a little static.
Do it! Do it now! Mission accomplished.
Unit destroyed. The tank here, I think, will make this an easy
Do it now!
swing.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah, and Devon is there. Devon is probably at war with the major regime to their north, so we're in a little bit of a rush to get there. We know the same thing is also the case in the commune. Granted, the commune is that where they're guarded their west, so these guys got a little bit more of a run before they get to the commune. So we're in a little bit of a rush to both these places. Well, that's good. Let's push them away from the mountain so they can't try to escape into the mountains.
All clear, sir. Call in the tanks. All clear, sir.
Great success. The tanks mop up what I think is probably what's left of the Mercanteers. The Mercanteers have a little bit of territory, but I don't see them actually have any people at this point. If they don't, then we can definitely free these tanks up to send westward. I may even just start pushing them westward anyway. Yeah, decided what I'm doing on those three, which is, with the exception of the power bank, none of them are getting expanded. I may revisit the concept on the biofuel refinery, but I think we just finished the synthetic fuel tank tech, didn't we? Or not the synthetic, deep core gas. Yeah. So let's start building one level of this. It's a lot of metal, and it's a lot of power for a little bit of fuel. Was it better fuel at level 1? No, it's actually worse fuel at level 1. But it doesn't cost as much food, right? So the savings there is the food. It's power for food sort of trade-off. So yeah, let's start building the deep core extractor. Colonists still keep getting assigned here. Good to see the colonist rate is ticking up. Right now we have it set to take 500 from here, and 500 from here, plus the free tunnel here providing 100. So here's providing 500, here's providing 1, so there's 600. We went from 8 to 900. So that jump is an extra one coming out of this recruitment. Because we're starting to adapt the culture here. As soon as we get this up to 100%, we should be pulling the full 5. At that point, I might actually try to recruit even more colonists from here, so we can get new settlements expanded quicker. Yeah. And then that gives us places to put automated factories and clinics and sensors. I think the next one will probably go around here to work the 2 extractions. Yeah. Let's cycle that turn. Okay, that was a decent end turn. Nothing super exciting. We got 1 decision on round 69 here. Scouts have told us that one of the territories of arachnids has split into 2. Light armor grenadier army. If only that had... Well, we'd like the motorized version, that would be interesting. Yep, focus on design rather than discover. Right, that was barely a decision. That was like, can I continue doing what I was doing? It's like, yes.
Roger that.
What did I end up with piece of the... Oh! No, it fell. It fell to these guys. Okay. Well, then we're not in a rush to get there because it's controlled by Blackland. So, have we opened contact with? We haven't.
Yes, sir.
Let's open contact with them.
Do it now! Mission accomplished.
Taking advantage of the fact that I can kind of beat up the AI with the tank really easily. Wait, well this was gonna go up to that city. It's not going that way anymore, obviously. So go that way. And then you can go that way to provide us the logistics we need. Yeah, so the mercanteers are gone, is what my reports are now roughly telling me. So let's pull the tanks off. Start pushing them westward. And of course, when I push slightly into the mountains, it's got like no logistics left to move, but it's fine. Aligned territory. What do I want in the non-aligned territory here? Some private credits wouldn't be bad. Off there somewhere? Okay. There. Okay. Lots of big empty swaths of territory to take. It is very interesting to try to get, but that's still a very long run off into middle of nowhere. Which we had Infinite Industry would love to do, but I don't currently have Infinite Industry, so I'm gonna pick my battles, per se. Okay, let's try to pull motorized back here. Partially in preparation. I think these guys want to upgrade to the new trucks. They're still in the old trucks. Push the tanks west. Already built roads this turn. Yeah, don't really got enough industry for more road building. So these guys are still static a little bit. So we push north. If anything, I should start slow rolling the north. As much fun as it is a clown on the AI with the heavy tank. That's not particularly rewarding. Whereas we've lost the recon, but the city here, that's got people, and that makes it valuable. So we should really get going westward again. We didn't go fast enough going northward is what ended up happening. So let's not lose our opportunity going westward.
Yes, sir.
Now, what type of... I think that was nomads. Hope that was the nomads. Yeah, that was the nomads. Somewhere there's a big bunch of spiders. And, you know, we might as well let the AI deal with the spiders if we can make them. Yeah, so that's the arachnids over there. Let's let the AI deal with the arachnids. Good place to maybe put some spies so we can see what the arachnids are up to, but...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then we can attract some more free folk in the capital.
Copy that.
Oh, I'm low on money. Don't think we ran out last turn, but I do need to generate some so we don't run out this turn.
Roger that.
Sell a bunch of rares, sell a bunch of metal.
Roger that.
Yeah, may need to do something about the metal income. It is starting to run negative. That's probably due to we were harvesting mostly via scrap. And the scrap's starting to shrink. Some of the places are depleting. That's actually going to deplete soon. That one's surprisingly not depleted. That one's not depleted. We had one there that's empty. We had, I think, one in here that was empty. Yeah, we had one there that was empty. Or that is now empty. So on and so forth, yeah. So I might need to do some stuff to raise metal production. But that's maybe... It doesn't necessarily need to be scrapping, it could just be expanding the mines. That's fair. Okay, vehicles moving. Probably leave the militia trucks over here. Well, except for that one. Militia trucks over here and the one militia foot. Maybe they'll continue expanding in this direction. We'll see how the industry goes. Yeah, we're doing what we can to grow the city. It's grown 7,000 the last turn, which is good to see. If we get up to size 6, that would actually solve a lot of potential problems. On the other hand, don't think the demand completed. No, it didn't. So I do need about 200 more BP is what it's telling me. And the bureaucracy is apparently 50 for modifiers. So let's... Well, we'll do a lot in parallel, and we'll see if they can kick in quickly enough.
Copy that.
Roger that.
So that'll be done. We'll have confirmation whether or not there's enough BP in 2 turns. So the first turn is going to build it. The second turn is going to give us a result on how much BP it provides. It's a base of 50, but a lot of our stuff is, for example, for high opinions of governors, right, is doing better than it should. So if they're able to do better than they should, then 150 being splurged up to 200 by that way isn't too much of a stretch.
Roger that.
Oh, and of course the Interior Council Director can't improve relationship with himself. Yeah. So we merited him, which helped a lot. That's point 61. Oh, I think we'd punish this guy because he wasn't being... wasn't towing the party line with fist. Okay, let's use some of our fate points to make this guy improve quicker. Oh, actually, the interior, I'm thinking the staff council. No, staff is military, interior is staff for the interior. Yes, okay. It's for... I think we may still cortical stimulate this guy.
Roger that.
And then, what about the governors? Which governors haven't hit with the... Dessa presumably has one. Quartz Town. Oh, I have 2 cities called Landing Ruins, just to confuse myself. Landing Ruins North, Landing Ruins South. Okay. Can I do... Is there a way to rename a city?
Standing by. Copy that.
Change zone name, yes. Landing Ruins. South. So we can tell them apart.
Copy that.
Was that worth 2 political power? Maybe. So that's the one we're going to prioritize. The Code Simulator. And Quartz Town.
Roger that.
I suppose we can distribute some pheromone devices similarly. We want to hold on to 1 for if we ever get a Foreign Affairs Advisor.
Roger that.
Well, we only need 1 for that. We'll hand out a Dopinator. In theory, this is war stat, so it really shouldn't affect the governors too much, but we'll go ahead and we'll amp up the capital one. Let the capital one productive. Okay. Might save up political power and try to get another 8 point or 2. We're less in a rush for that. Okay, let's cycle that turn. If anything, I need to slow down construction just a little bit. So that I can actually build more units. I think we've got enough petrol income I can support either more fuel-using vehicles. So either upgrading the trucks, because the old trucks are fuel-efficient, the new trucks are... Well, I think they're a little bit more power-efficient for the fuel, but they use more fuel. So for the same unit, it'd be more fuel. Or I should invest in more industry to build more roads, and less in more petrol. I think we got enough petrol for the moment coming in. At least when we have static vehicles. When we have static vehicles, we're fuel petrol positive. There we go. Fuel mix optimization. We'll go and move the applied counselor over to that. Applied science. Yes, you're optimizing our weapons, but you know what I'd really like you to optimize? Our fuel.
Roger that.
Okay, I'm gonna plow my whole road budget into that. We're gonna need more, right? We need to get out to the mountain at least. Keep going west.
Do it now! Clear, sir. Attack formation. Objective lost.
Ran out of action points. We'll try again next turn. Yeah, at least while these guys in the west are stationary, we're not going through the fuel super fast by the looks of it. Granted, we're working to get them non-stationary, so that might not last for very long, but at the moment it's lasting. I'm not super appreciative of this mountain range being here, but it's fine. Really, I should go up and around instead of trying to push through the mountain range with foot troops. Especially because I've got the self-imposed rule of no non-professional foot troops. Or no professional foot troops, so the non-professional ones are the ones we got. Really probably shouldn't add more construction projects to the list, seeing as I spent it all on roads. Bureaucratic office finished. We'll see next turn whether that was enough with the 3. One of them didn't finish, so it might not be enough without the third one. Ice mining finished, so we'll check next turn whether or not water's positive. The reservoir tech's all finished. Building's finished except for the power bank. Could hold off on expanding those. Actually, I'm not. Maybe we'll have to check.
Roger that.
Can I expand them? I cannot. So 5 for the moment until the city levels up. Cannot expand them to level 6, or yeah, can't expand them to level 6 because that requires the city to be level 6. The city is level 5. So yeah, those are maxed out for the moment. Can't make them bigger. I am going to go ahead and I think it is time to expand to this metal mine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, current consumption, or current mining rate, got 7 more turns of metal in that mine. Metal's getting suspiciously level low. It's not initially a problem. May become a problem, but it's not initially a problem. Because we had a pretty large stockpile. Okay, that's a mine. That's not a great mine. We might use that if we put a city up here, but at the moment we won't. Scavenging is going to be a little bit better than trying to put something so far away from the city. This is even a better mine, isn't it? Yeah, level 2. Or ease access 2. One we've already got, which is the one I'm expanding. Yeah, it's a little low, but it's an easy access 6. So we've got a couple different peripherally mining expands we can do on that. That's a bit far away from a Freefolk Cave. But, 100 colonists is 100 colonists. Anyway, let's see if a lot of our problems are solved on the next turn. Because the reservoirs are done, that's going to save the industry and the metal going to those. Hopefully that'll be enough ice mining to keep the fuel stable, or the water stable. Bureaucratic offices, we're just trying to make 200 bureaucratic points, so in theory the 3 of them, again if we have a good roll on their productivity, which we'll be able to check more or less next turn. Well, actually, the 3rd one we'll have to check the turn after next, but we'll see how close we are before on next turn. And everything else is proceeding. Power bank apparently is what's going to take the longest. Industry is probably what's eating the most metal right now. Industry is pretty metal heavy. And then tech-wise, working on light ammo. We'll probably work on ammo compactation next. We're hoping to discover Gauss small arms, hoping to discover Walker hydraulics. I suppose eco-wise, we are hoping to discover the robotization techs, or the automation techs. In older patches, these reduce the number of workers that the buildings required. At some point, depending on how you think about it, I think they were buffed. Whether you like the worker consumption or not, they got changed to double production, not less workers, which benefits higher level cities more than lots of little cities, which the older version, the lower costing workers, was good for. Though that might be the Mandela effect. I don't. Maybe I'm misremembering that, and they did always were double production. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I maybe have enough political power. Can we get off? Yeah, we need 9 more for that. The end of turn is mostly boring. What we're mostly seeing is the major moving along our border. They don't appear to have too many troops, so if we were to start something with them, eventually it doesn't look like that would be too scary. Back to us, round 171. We have 4 decisions. Already done with the lightweight now. That's quick. We're going to wait for this to come down a little bit in cost. Stay balanced. Already decided the other one we're going to do is ammo compactation. Once those are done, we'll be very tempted to modify things. Interest in custom links. Do a new pass on the model design to implement some of the new changes.
down!
Okay. So in the north here, we're still kind of picking on the AI, the surviving AI units, because they just don't stand up to the combat tanks, the heavy tank. 180mm cannon does quick work of them. So we got 70 and 70. So 140 of the 200 we needed or so. So this one doesn't need to be super great to meet the demand. Or, well, maybe it does, because we're 100 short apparently. Though that's BP at the start of turn. There might be a way I can kind of do that without having to get a little more. And the answer to that is, I believe, bureaucratic push. Yeah, this will give us a one-time BP, which is probably enough. 935, that should give us enough for one turn to complete that mission. Oof. Low mountains. Yeah, it's the low mountains there. 800 to get up the mountain. We do need to go through that mountain. Oh no, we got one tile of... No, either way I gotta go over one mountain. So it's that mountain or that mountain. It's that mountain or that mountain. We'll go over that mountain, I think. That puts the... Yeah, we'll go over that mountain. So we can at least get as far as there. Kinda don't want to border with the nomads right now, so we sort of sweep like so to minimize the border with them. And the next turn, we probably have the industry to do that dash, hopefully. Bureaucratic office. I think we should complete it next turn. Industry will complete. We'll probably queue up another industry because we're really interested in more industry to build our vehicles at this point. We'll build the vehicles, build the vehicle roads. Gas core extractor will finish next turn. The turn after, then we'll have an idea of how much yield that we'll be making. And then, yeah, the power bank's the only thing that's apparently it's got a long queue at the moment. Everything else should be finishing relatively quickly. Some of this will be queuing up again. We'll probably queue the industry up again. I might queue the deep core gas extractor up again. And surprising metal is a little bit positive this turn, but that's because I think we completed a lot of the really expensive stuff. So we're spamming stuff a little slower now.
Roger that.
Though I've got people I want to give jobs, and those jobs require me having the industry to give them the equipment to do the job. Oh, and that might not have been enough water. I may need to expand the water mine. Yeah, may need to expand the water mine. Well, we'll give it another turn before we expand the water mine. We're not, at that rate, we're not desperate. 100 shortfall for a stockpile of 11,000, it's not an emergency. Not an emergency made. Okay. Let's sell something to get some money.
Roger that.
And the same sort of thing with metal. Like, we're running out of low. We don't want to run out of metal, but at the same time, we have a lot of metal stockpiles. So selling a little bit to generate revenue is not a bad thing. And the way I use metal, I'd rather the metal not be going down turn over turn. I'd rather it be going down because I've spent it on something like, oh, I want a railway. So the metal stockpile gets spent on the railway. Oh, I want troops. So it gets spent on troops. The turn over turn effects, I'd rather it be positive. Tesla League, round 72, we have 2 decisions. I'll go ahead and play one more turn. We're a little over time. I really want to see how some of this stuff plays out. Okay, so we didn't complete the demand. Well, that's somewhat annoying. So we did complete the bureaucratic office. That's another 70. Okay, so the bureaucratic push didn't help, is what happened there. I've got 5 rounds to make 50 more BP. So we just have to upgrade the thing somewhere. So we'll do it here. This will finish in 2 turns. And that'll provide another 150 base for multipliers. So that should be more than enough.
Do it now. All clear, sir. Move it now. All clear, sir.
Okay, definitely use some more industry over there to build roads.
Roger that.
But at the same time, I know it's going to get used over here, because we need this. To get to the city quickly enough, I need this road now. There goes all the industry we've got spare to spend for the turn. There's the warmongers. We got 2 decisions. Research bias here. Oh well, I suppose in eco, other than maybe finding the automation text, we're not really looking for anything. Right, so that's why I got that research bias. That makes sense. And we'll probably leave it research biased. Because the only ones I'm really looking for is the automation ones right now.
Copy that.
One of the majors who wants an embassy with us will accept.
Sir.
Presumably that means one of the majors are actually surprisingly friendly. 51, 56. It's probably these guys up here, though I could be wrong. Yeah, it's probably the guys up there. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna see some spies. These guys.
Yes,
See if we can see if there's actually any surviving robots.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Well, there should be one because they still got some territory, but they might literally only have one left. Mission possible. Gain 1 fate point, which 2 is enough for everything we have to play right now. We have personal guards. I think that's all we've got left play-wise. And then I have an industry for more road building. How's the construction looking? Metal mine's done. Now that we're building a lot less stuff, the metal's actually looking pretty stable, so I probably don't need to rush to build more metal. We'll do the deep core expansion, we'll do the industry expansion. Worst case scenario, I'll be crying out for more power. Because of the rising power demand on these.
Yes, sir.
Gas core extractor.
Yes, sir.
We'll see how much that's yielding next turn. So, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and end the turn here, and I think we'll put the part break in. So the rare earth.
Roger that.
Goes back to 3,000, so that's good enough. Oh, let's demolish infrastructure. Now that we don't have any scrap on that hex, I don't need a road to that hex. I suppose next turn we'll have to check to see how quickly depleting that. Might be worth doing the peripheral mining on it sooner rather than later. Oh, I mean, maybe multiple places. Yeah, that'll be a bit of a shame here, because we're going to lose water yield rate in exchange for getting more reserves. But yeah, we're really going to have to do a couple of peripheral minings back to back to back here. Maybe we're going to dump the political power over the next couple turns. Yeah, let's go ahead. Where are we on victory point-wise? We're in the part. We are still in second. I think we are catching up with the person in first, mainly by acquiring more of the planet. I don't think they were the one who acquired the city that we were racing for. In fact, we can check. So, Paysandor is not these guys. So that's Blackland. Okay, so these guys acquired that city, probably putting them in third. So you probably jump to the beginning of the previous part if you're watching on YouTube. Compare how everyone shifted around. Pretty sure we were in second, so I think Paysandor here was still in first before. I think we've gained on them a little bit, not necessarily by gaining population, but I think we gained a little bit. I think we were 20% at the beginning of the stream. Gained about 2%. And that's the cloning. That's the raw reproductive power of the cloning facilities working there. And we've gained more planets. So those are 2 sources of score. I think we were around like 15% victory point before. Oh, a little bit under 50%, something like that. We were in second. We're still in second. I think we're catching on first. But that's me thinking. I haven't looked at it in an hour and a half at this point. So I may be wrong. Or maybe we haven't been gaining, but let's go ahead and end the turn. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. I'm going to try to record 2 more parts tonight. However, I am at the middle of the stream where it is time to go get more tea. The last slurps of tea are going to disappear in the part break, and then the teacup's going to go upstairs and more tea is going to get put in it, is the plan. I'm going to go brew another cup of tea. So if you're watching on Twitch, there'll be a short break where I have the mic muted, so you'll just have the game audio while I go make a cup of tea. Though I won't leave you on too much of a cliffhanger. We will watch the intern here, which I think will mostly be boring. A little bit of cliffhanger you might get is, what is the decisions, right? You'll be able to see the decisions for the next turn. Well, the number of decisions we have for the next turn. As we plow through all these territories and not really see anything important moving on the border. Doesn't mean important things aren't happening, just means they're not happening on our border. So we get attacked, we held, that's good to see. And it's back to us. Round 73 will be the next round, or in the beginning of the next part. We will have 3 decisions to deal with, and we'll have 98 reports, most of which I won't read. So until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, or the next bit. And with that, bye for now.